Good morning. Welcome to Investigator News. And I'm Ellie, and boy, I'm ready for today. And happy Friday, and it is storming all around me. So if you hear the rumbles and the lightning, this is why. Uh, Boy, good morning, Susan. You're the first in, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Got donuts? I got cookies in there, but I didn't bring none in this morning. I've been busy working on today's shows. Um, I do want to invite everyone to watch the today's morning show and tonight, um, as I'm going to expose a lot of our politicians. I'm ready for it. I got the documents and a lot of um, private things just for me, and so I'm putting it all together. And wait till you hear. Wait till you hear. Anyway. Uh, Uh, oh yeah, I need donuts. I need to get someone up early here and tell them to go get some in the storms. I doubt if I'm gonna get anybody in cars for the next hour. So, um, we don't have Mary or Karen in the room for moderators, so it's all right. Oh, there's Mary. Good morning. Mary is our moderator, and if you are um, want to ask a question or have a comment, Mary will make sure. Mary's a great. Um, she's done some wonderful things for me. So anyway, weather. Oh my! Oh, the weather is really bad over me, and they say severe storms for the next few hours for us. Uh, there was yesterday during our storms a really bad car pile up on, I believe it was I-40, and they're still trying to find. They said this morning they're still trying to locate it, whether or not people um, that are missing out of the cars. They're checking with the local hospital. So, oh, what a mess it was. Um, so this morning, well, I guess I need to get this set up, huh? Uh,
Here's a look at your national forecast, and today we're going to see storms through parts of the
I
Mississippi.
usually have this set up, but I've been working. Boy, Mary, I tell you, I've been working on today's shows, and I mean up to like 10 minutes ago, trying to get it all together for this morning and tonight. So be sure to watch, and you might want to even send a lot of this over to Hodges. Um, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So, our weather, here we go. And our lovely weather lady, and we thank the Weather Channel for letting us use them. So, here we go.
Here's a look at your national forecast, and today we're going to see storms through parts of the Mississippi Valley, along the Gulf, and even into the Missouri Valley. So these are going to be daytime thunderstorms with the threat of damaging winds. Now, on Saturday, take a look at all this heat from the southwest all through the south, and even stretching into the southeast. Now, we're going to continue to see scattered showers over parts of the southeast, especially Florida. It's going to be a wet weekend for you with those showers continuing. So, unfortunately, that pattern doesn't change much through the weekend. Severe weather expected on Sunday through the northern tier of the country and Monday. Well, the temperatures stay hot out to the west, but take a look at the Tennessee Valley really starting to heat up here. 97 degrees for the expected high in Memphis.
Okay, you see those double digits all this week down in the South. They said they had Sacramento at 99, and they said, "Oh, this is really hot." Well, I remember we used to, oh boy, as kids, you guys just love my stories in the mornings, I bet. So when we were kids, we would test how hot it was by um, they had gutters, so we would stick our feet in the gutter, and then we'd stand in the street to see who could last long enough. And usually, if a lot of us made it, we knew it wasn't over 100 degrees. Uh, so in June, school got out, so that's what we would do. And normally, we couldn't stay in the street very long. And, 90% of us would be back in the gutter cooling our feet off. Made for lots of blisters back then. All right. So I don't want to talk about my old funny childhood things. The latest earthquakes. Um, folks, I was right the other day. with Peru with a 7.2. Now, I didn't have the info. I had the wrong info, actually. And so I'm not going to put anything out there that is old or wrong. I always try to put the best out there that I have, and it's true and facts. So that's why I didn't do it, and I got it today. It had changed, I guess, to another article, so I just couldn't give it to you guys. All right, so off to the earthquakes. Um, Boy, I tell you what, they're all over the place. There was 32 of them, but once you see what's going on, actually the most recent one is in Tillamook, Alaska, only a 2.5. What concerned me, though, well, let me show you guys the map. All right, here we go. Is the one that hit Hawaii, Pahala, um, is a 3.6. Now, anything over a 2.5 is causing a rumbling of a volcano. And this is something over in Yellowstone that they always uh, get very worried on. Anything over a 2.5 because it means the volcanoes are active. So, so this is a 3.5, a 3.6. So that tells you right there that there's something going on with that volcano over there in Pahala. Uh, I think it's just rising and bubbling at this point, but I haven't heard of any ash or lava coming out of it. Um, the other one that concerned me was Hangro, Chile, but this is on a fault line out in the middle of the ocean, and it was a 4.9. I had it as a 5.2 this morning. Uh, so it was bigger than it's listed here. And why it concerns me is it's on one of the fault lines. Now, if we had that one in Peru, the 7.2, um, that's why we see increased activity that went over into Fiji, and then it went up over into China, and then Alaska got quiet. Well, now Alaska's having earthquakes today. We also seen that it goes around the Ring of Fire into California, and there's still no data that goes up into the east, which I'm expecting it to. We did have a cluster over towards Puerto Rico, and it's still having quite a few, but with a larger size um, earthquake in Guatemala, that was a 4.9, 5.0. The other ones on the close to Kermadec up in Alaska, those were 4.8, 4.9s. And then we had a bigger one over in Shizuna, Japan. That was a 5.0. Now, the ones along the west coast that I've been keeping an eye on is a 3.8 in Petrolia. Then we had one in Mina, Nevada. And that one we've had big earthquakes there before. And they had a bunch of them rumbling for quite a few days. Uh, the other one's over in Stanton, Texas, which is a new area, and that was a 3.4. And Mentone, Texas, which we get those there. That one was 2.5. So I'm saying if you're around these areas, you're probably getting a little bit of rumblings. Um, Now, the one over in Taiping, China, that was a 6.0. That's a good size one. So we should be seeing something real close to it over the next few days. And unfortunately, it's Friday, so I won't be able to do earthquakes till next week. So as you could see, there's not that many, but they are strong. And depending what happens in Japan and Alaska, depends on what we're looking at next week for the western coast. So now what I want to do is switch you guys over to the Chile quake. And now I'm pretty sure I can show this one. This comes from the government of Chile, but I'm not going to show all of it, just about maybe 20 seconds of it, so I don't get a copyright strike.
The heat is expanding, and for next week,
well, that didn't go well, huh? It's because I was watching it. Oh. Let me pull this back down. Now, boy, Ellie, you're just on top of it today, huh? Um, you know that. Oh my God, this is crazy. Um, they had back-to-back earthquakes over in Chile that caused a landslide. Oh my gosh, I can't find it now. This Cuba thing, it just don't want to happen. I swear. All right, I had a earthquake for it, but I lost it. I'm like, Ellie, come on, get with it. Uh, Susan, throw donuts at me because I don't have it now. All right, so I'm just going to go on to Pizzly. I know you guys want to hear about Pizzly, the polar bear grizzly hybrid. Now, the climate change, they say, is what's causing this. No, I think they've been doing this for a long time. I even remember back in the early 70s and 80s where they had polar bear grizzly hybrids. This isn't nothing new, but they want to say climate has caused this to happen. So, and they say it's forcing these bears south where they're coming into contact with the different bears as their view of this. But no, they've been doing this for a long time. This isn't nothing new, but it's a cute little story. And of course, I have it. Don't worry, guys. I didn't lose this one. I can't believe I lost that Peru earthquake. So I'm going to put Pizzly up here and enjoy, folks. Enjoy.
The Pizzly bear. That's right, the Pizzly bear is a hybrid of the polar bear and the grizzly bear. Rising temperatures and thinning ice in the Arctic are forcing polar bears farther south where they may encounter grizzlies. This change in habitat is affecting the way bears mate as well. The Pizzly bear was first seen in the wild back in 2006, but they could become more common as global warming's effects further change the bear's natural habitats. Right now, there are relatively few Pizzlies, but one day the hybrid bear could become quite common as the two species adapt to a changing environment.
So there you go, Mr. Pizzly Bear. Um, and like I said, I remember hearing about these a long time ago. So anybody else that has heard about these mixed bears, throw it down there in the comments for us. We'd like to hear about it because I remember these way back in the 70s, 80s. And they weren't talking climate change. They were just talking that some of the grizzly bears during warm spells we go up north. So this is what you think. I like that. Bears are bears. Yeah, I agree with that, William. Bears are bears, and when they meet up, either they fight or other things happen. Um, and I don't think this is anything odd. Just think it makes for a new beautiful bear that we might be able to add to the species. Now, I think this is what they're moving towards is to bring the bears in and have a new breed of bear, which I think these are cute. I don't. Did you guys see the cubs? Those are cute little fuzzy guys. So hopefully we'll be adding this Pizzly bear to our bear um, species in the next few years. And I think that's what they're moving towards. So off with Pizzly and on to how about some idiots? Um, I seen this morning and I said, oh my gosh, this is just great. This really explains a lot. We're running into a lot of idiots lately. Um, and what this how they did is it's named idiots everywhere, and they say um, how about advice for idiots? An actual tip: environmental health and safety handbook for employees. Blink your eyelids periodically to lubricate your eyes. And so actually, these idiots figured out it would work. And this was back a few years ago. And so, of course, don't use the Visine like they would do. Um, You just blink your eyes a whole bunch. And you know what it reminded me of? That wicked stepmother on Cinderella, Rogers and Hammerstein, I believe, where she had her batting of the eyes, and it drove everybody nuts. So no, batting of the eyes doesn't, kind of does lubricate your eyes, but um, basically this was put into the Environmental Health and Safety Handbook for employees that went around the world. Idiots in the neighborhood. Um, if you live in a semi-rural area, recently neighbors called the local township administrator's office to request the removal of a deer crossing sign on their road. And why? The reason: many deer were being hit by cars, and this neighbor no longer wanted them to cross there, and mentioned that if they removed the signs, the bears would know not to cross at that point and be run over by cars. Ah, boy. Uh, Idiots in food service. Okay. Taco Bell. A young girl went to Taco Bell and ordered a taco. She asked the individual behind the counter minimum lettuce, and he said, "Sorry, they don't have minimal lettuce available, only iceberg." Boy, that sounds like the kids these days at the Taco Bell. You tell them a little bit of no sour cream, and they're like, well, we can't do that because it's on the ingredients. I don't know if you guys have heard that one. I see. I don't like sour cream, and I'll go, and it's like every other time they say, "Oh, we can't do that." And I said, "Well, why can't you just leave the sour cream off?" Well, that's part of the ingredients for your your. I get a wrap, one of them big um, stop sign looking wraps, and I don't want the sour cream on it. They say, "Oh no, you have to because that's what's in it." I go, "Are they pre-made?" No. Well, then leave the sour cream off. Sorry, ma'am, we can't do that. Oh, idiots at Taco Bell. Sorry, Taco Bell, I love your food, but yep, this is part of one of it. And idiots in the news. Hey, Ed. Ed, good morning, Ed. And Ed is one of our veterans, and he's a good friend of mine. All right, so idiots in the news. Buffalo Channel 4 in October of um, 2019 informed captivated audience when selling their computer the best way to erase your files on your hard drive is by drilling a hole in the drive itself. By drilling a hole in the drive itself, you make it impossible for the new owner to get your file. Um, Okay, William, you need to laugh at this one because me and you don't drill holes in your hard drive. That's you're just ruined. You just broke the computer at that point. But Buffalo Channel 4 said it. Buffalo Channel 4 said it. All right. Uh, at the airport, checking in at the gate, when an airport employee asked, "Has anyone put anything in your bag without your knowledge?" And one gentleman said, "If it was without my knowledge, how would I know?" He smiled and knowingly he said, "That's why we ask." Mm. Oh boy. All right, the stoplight on the corner buzzes when it's safe to cross the street in some of the cities. And so while an older woman was crossing um, with an intellectual challenged coworker, she asked if she knew what the buzzer was for. And it was explained for blind people when the light is red. Now, the not so bright coworker said, "What on earth are blind people doing driving?" Hmm. No, I don't know about that. Oh boy, idiots at work right here. Um, at a goodbye lunch for an old and dear coworker who is leaving a company due to downsizing, the manager spoke up and she said, "This is fun. We should have lunch like this more often." Not another word was spoken. We just looked at each other like deer in the headlines approaching a truck. I think they meant maybe have it not at the company no more. I don't know about that one. There was an individual who plugged her um, power strip back into itself for the life couldn't understand why her system would not turn on. Now I've heard about this over the years that there are some that will plug it in. They have the power strip, they get the cord and they plug it into it. Um, don't ask me why. I just have heard about that. You don't get it? I didn't. Well, see, they were having a goodbye lunch for this dear old coworker who was leaving and basically said it was fun. They should do it more often, Mary. Uh, mm, that's what I was saying. I don't think it was meant for the at work, of course, because she was being let go. And why would she want to see them coworkers that got to stay? Oh boy. Good morning, Linda. All right. There was at the hospital one day. The doctor uh, was working on a pregnant lady and some questions upon admission to the maternity ward. When she asked who we should call in case of an emergency, the ditzy pregnant lady stated 911. Should I read that one over again? So she was checking in to admissions and they said, who do we call in case of emergency? And she said, 911. Yeah, I could see that happen with some of the kids of today. This one was dated for 2018. 2018. Um, let's see, I'll do one more. A friend of mine, a friend, this one, let's see, it says, um, okay, it says a friend of mine, it was written, and I were it's not me though, don't worry about me. This wasn't me. A friend of mine and I were on a little road trip with his wife driving. Everything was pretty quiet, and she turned and asked, if you are driving 70 miles an hour, how far would you go in an hour? Um, how far would you go? I don't understand this one. It says, oh, yeah, she's a smart one. I don't know. I'm going to go to another one. Boy, that was a bad one. Um, all right. Many years ago, a delicatessen, the assistant manager had burnt something in the oven and smoke was pouring out of the kitchen area when the store manager came by and asked why she hadn't opened the emergency fire exit to door to allow the smoke to go out. She said she thought about it, but she couldn't find the key. Oh boy. All right. Boy, those were pretty bad today. I should have grabbed something else. It was a little bit better. 70. It, you don't see Linda? I think it's because Linda's, well, I don't know. Linda, you have to say something. Mary can't see you. Um, calling the telecommunications company to form the phone didn't work. Um, a young man, when he picked up the receiver, it was completely dead. The technician said at the other end, "Are you calling from the number of the phone that does not work?" Oh, good grief! Hope y'all. Oh yeah, I'm calling you on a phone that don't work. Yeah, uh-huh. That sounds like some of them. Some of them telemarketers, folks, are just dummies too. Um, I don't fall for them. And if you talk to them, they'll put you on a no call back quicker, and come up with something silly and witty for them. Me, I answer investigator news, and um, and so usually they say uh, they want, let's say it's for what is it, to redo your car insurance, I think is one of them, is one of the scams. Well, I don't have a car in my name. So I tell them, I said, what's the name on the account? And they're like, and I go, do you want to talk to someone here in the newsroom? Newsroom? Yeah. Oh, click. And then I'm on a no callback uh, list. Now I've had the ones where they want to, oh, folks, don't fall for this, okay? It's when your computer all of a sudden has Microsoft and it jams it. It doesn't really jam it. It just all it was you clicked on something that put a virus in there. And you probably need a technician to come in and fix it. Do not call those people. They want hundreds of dollars, and it's some uh, foreign speaking dude that wants you to go and put money on a Target card or debit card and send it to them. And um, don't don't fall for that. If your screen goes um, blue or blank and it blocks you from doing anything, take it to a repairman. Do not call these people. They'll say call 1-800 and this number, and Microsoft technicians will help you fix your computer. No, they don't. They're trying to scam you. There's plenty. You want a good laugh, go look, because they've even called police departments. Those are the good ones. So um, please don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. I had I love playing with these scammers. Uh, I guess I'm delaying the show a little bit. Um, I love playing with them, and I'll keep them going. Get this: the one that was for the computer that went blue. Well, I decided I was going to play with this guy, and so while he's busy talking and wanting to get into my computer, I'm telling him, well, I don't know how to do that, and I'm playing dumb. He says, well, just go to Target and get one of these cards. So while he's explaining to me, I get on YouTube and I get traffic noise. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go to Target and so here we go. So I'm playing traffic noise in the back. So he thinks I'm in my car. I was like, oh, can I stop and get some donuts on the way and some coffee? And so I'm acting like I'm talking to, well, I drug him out and I told him it would only take 10 minutes to get to Target. Well, it took us about 30 minutes. So I tied him up for 30 minutes. Now, mind you, when you tie them up, it keeps them from calling other people and doing it. So it keeps them from uh, going after other people for that. So I get into Target and I was like, oh, look at this shirt. Do you mind if I stop and try on this shirt? And then, so I'm shopping. I ended up tying this guy up for 2 hours before he realized that I was scamming him. Boy, the names he called me. The only bad thing about that whole situation was he called me back for a week straight, calling me names. Uh, and I just laughed. I said, well, look who scammed who. I said, a little pissed off, are you, guy? And oh, man. But he did. He eventually quit calling me because I went to the police department on it. And so it ended. But I kept that guy going for 2 hours. I was shopping, I was eating, I was everything but getting that card. And then get this. So I get him the card, and he goes, "You gonna send it to me?" And I was like, "No, I went and cashed it out and got you cash." He goes, "No, you're not supposed to cash it." I go, "Well, where do I mail your money to?" He goes, "No, you were supposed to give me the numbers on the card." I was like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry. So now what? Can I just send you the cash?" And boy, oh, that's why he bugged me for a week, because I pulled one over on him really good. He was all getting excited. Okay, now give me the numbers on the card. And I was like, well, no, I went and cashed it out and got you cash. Oh boy. So Ellie has fun doing this. I do that on my sometimes when I get spunky, but and that way I could tell you guys all about this and warn you. Um, so anyway, um, I try to, if you're new and watching the show, this is the kind of stuff I try to tell my viewers so they don't fall for this. The last thing I need is you guys scammed and calling me up saying, oh, Ellie, you're not going to believe what happened. And I lost all this money. Please don't fall for this stuff. If you know, and you can turn them into your attorney general because a lot of times they hit areas and states, according to my attorney general, and they can catch them if enough people will at least take the time to turn these guys in and who they were, where they were from, and who they claimed to be. So if you get these scam calls, call your attorney general and let them know, because it helps them to catch these guys. So many senior citizens have lost hundreds, thousands of dollars falling for these scams because they just don't know. It sounds so realistic, especially the one with a broken computer, and they're like, "Oh, I need to have my computer." And it can even they can even put viruses on your phone. Be very careful. Um, but so many senior citizens are getting caught up, and this is according to my attorney general, and not enough is being done to protect them. And they do charge these guys. The only problem is a lot of these guys are overseas. So it takes longer, and it has to go through the FBI and the CIA to be able to go after these guys and put a stop to it. Sometimes, now, this is another trick they use. Um, they will call you, and somehow they have hacked somebody's phone. So they're using someone's phone in the area to call you. And if you call it back, then it's somebody that answers their phone that also they were fixing to call you because your phone number was used to call them. And this is one of the newest hacks that's been going on, according to my attorney general. So it could be a local number to make you think that it's someone here, and they use it for you want to give to a certain foundation. And a lot of the elderly are falling for this because it's a local number. And of course, if it's a local number, you'll pick up. Now, I have called people back and they were like, hello. And I'm like, I'm trying to get a hold of the scammer that just called me. And I don't like the fact that they're harassing me. They're saying, you know what? Your number just called me and I don't appreciate it. And so we got to talking and come to find out they're hacking phones. So once they call, let's say the one that called me that was that guy. Well, then they use my number and call different people in my area using my phone number, which then it gets people calling me back. Now I have like a kind of a business sounding numbers at the end of my phone number. It's 0082. So that looks like a doctor's office or someone in the local area that's a business. And you would not believe hostile people that call me that said I was calling trying to scam them. I'm like, oh, no, no, no. So I let them know. Um, anyway, that is it for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. We have um, the show coming up in right about 25 minutes. And folks, I really encourage you to call, watch. Yeah, I encourage all you guys to call me. Ellie likes talking to you. Anyway, I would like you to watch. I'm kind of nervous about today because I'll be exposing quite a few politicians um, in between this morning and tonight. And I'm not afraid of them. This is stuff that's I have gotten that came under Freedom of Information Act, but it's stuff that is very private that was sent to me. And so I'm exposing them for what they've been doing, and it'll make a lot of sense to you guys, a lot of sense. Anyway, I thank you all for watching, and over in Facebook, all those new viewers, uh, come on back. Facebook loves this morning show, and I thank them dearly for not only sharing it, but enjoying it. And I'm just going to keep on going with it. Uh, this is something that's going to be, I guess, lasting forever, and I'll bring you the jokes. I'll bring you the funny animal stories, and of course, weather and volcanoes and earthquakes. Um, so with that, subscribe, hit that bell if you're not getting notified of the shows. And Ed, it was good to see you. Good that you pop in. You got a lot of nice guys here uh, in our chat. So anyway, if you're over there in Facebook, hit the follow, hit the like. Likes get us more into the mainstream, not only in Facebook, but it gets us into the mainstream of YouTube. Um, with that, I will see everyone in a few minutes, and we'll get right into what our government has been doing for decades, for decades. You all have a wonderful Friday. And, if you have to miss the show, just come on back and watch it. And of course, share. Have a wonderful Friday, folks, and God bless.